Welcome. You go ahead.
Okay,
You
now I see
intro it.
it. Okay.
All right.
Welcome to the idea of where we explore the noise, the nuance, and everything in between. I'm Bossy,
Mike,
and this is the space where culture, creativity, and conversation collide. Let's go.
what's up? What's going on? What's today?
Too
Today's
much and nothing at the same time.
Tuesday. We record on Tuesday now. I have to every week I feel like I have to remind myself. Episodes now come out on Wednesday, which is a good segue, and we never do this at the beginning. We just want to tell you, everybody listening, make sure you like, you share, you comment, you spread the word about the podcast, the idea of with Bossy and Mike. I feel like we have enough of an imprint now. If you search the idea of, or if you search Bossy and Mike, like we pop up in a lot of different formats. So
Oh,
do
really?
that.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it. It means a lot. It means a lot. And Bossy, we got our first hate comment on YouTube.
Really?
Yay! Yes.
What did it say?
It
We have
was for you.
arrived.
It
For
was for
me?
you, actually. I defended you. I should have told you about it before I defended you.
But what was it?
So it was from the short that we put on YouTube, and it was the one where your thing was about creating community, and you can't duplicate real community online. And at the end of that segment, you said something like that Black people are more adept or, adapted, whatever the word is. Community means more to us, and we're better able to create community as Black folks because it's in our DNA. It's in our, it's in us.
Our
And
survival.
yes, and the comment said, "Oh, I don't want it to. I don't want it to. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oops, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to. I don't know how to operate this." So the comment said, "Hold on, it's
Was it from
my
a white
computer."
person?
Absolutely,
Then I don't
absolutely.
care.
Yeah,
Then I don't care.
oh, man. Okay, here it goes. Okay, her name is Nancy Patterson. Her whole name was on there, so I'm
God.
just gonna read it. Nancy 374. Okay, another racist Black.
Oh my God. Oh my
I'm just
God.
gonna read it.
Just read
Another
it.
racist Black, but they call us whites racist. I'm white, and growing up, one of my best friends was Black. This got to be
Oh
a bot, and she was my friend.
God.
Wait, you're this, and she was my friend until God took her home. Her name is Her name is Bonnie. Don't forget her name. Okay, that's the comment.
That's the entire comment?
That's it. That's it. So I responded back and I said, another racist Black what? Black dog? Black bird? Black water bottle? What are you talking about? When you talk about Black people, refer to us as people first. Referring to the actions of a Black person and then saying another racist Black is, you got it, racist. Sorry about your friend. I hope you were kinder to her.
Sorry about your friend.
I hope you were kinder to her when and if you two ever disagreed. Thanks for listening.
There are no
That
black people
was
named Bonnie. Let me just put that out there.
no, she was the friend's name was Bonnie. Right. It
There are
might
no
have
black
been
people
one.
named Bonnie.
It
There are no
might have
black people
been.
named Bonnie.
But we got our first hate message, so that we're getting there. We're
It
getting
kind
there.
of sounds like a bot, but I wouldn't put it past anybody.
I thought of searching her name, whatever, Nancy Patterson with 374. I'm assuming that's her month and year of birth, but I was like, I'm not. I'm not. I need
Well,
yeah.
I always do. I either click on the name to see if they have any videos or any pictures if it's Instagram, and 9 times out of 10 either they don't or they do, and then I understand why they're so miserable.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, listen, subscribe, share the idea of, and we're continuing to grow. And every one of our episodes, Bossy, is ever since Rod and Karen, the Black Guy Who Tips, all of our episodes got a pretty substantial boost. But every episode we record goes into our top 5 recordings.
Oh wow.
Every one, it's just so people seem to be listening more, and so that's good. Good job. Good
Yeah,
job.
I'm still, and I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about it all weekend for some reason. I am still having trouble promoting it. I am
Yeah.
still having, even last week, and I was like, oh, I look good, I sound good. Every time I went to look at it, I hated something about it, or I didn't say something, or I don't know. I'm still having trouble. I'm gonna have to talk about it in therapy, but there's something about that idea perception that I'm still struggling with. And then also, because I told you I've been doing these morning pages and stuff. And
Mhm.
there's a book called Big Magic that I read years ago that I just started reading again. And just really trying to let go of this idea of who I was in order to solidify who I'm becoming. Because I'm coming to a point now where I've been whatever I am now longer than I was the person that I feel like I'm still trying to get to. And it's
Mhm.
just it's more of a psychological process than I fully understood or fully understand. And I'm starting to like try to get to the point where I'm understanding it more. But it's a lot because my sister was like, "How come you don't do that? How do you do that?" But it's a lot more complicated than I gave myself permission to understand. So first of all, I just want to like I apologize to you because I know you work so hard to get it out there. And I am really proud of this podcast. I'm really proud of what we do, what we talk about. I think it's important. I think we should have sponsors already, and ads, but that is just the hurdle that I'm trying to get over. Because I think also we'll get off this in a second. It's been so long that I've been public facing and I just don't know what that means anymore. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I don't think there's any need to apologize. I feel I really genuinely believe in what we're doing and we don't have to rush. Like we don't I think at first I was in the like because that's just a personality, a characteristic of who I am. Like when I start something new or once I figure out like I want to do this, I want to do it all like in a week. And for something that's fine. Like for some things you can do that. Like anytime I've ever gotten a car, I don't like I pseudo research it, but I'm like, I want a new car. And then I'm at the dealership tomorrow and I come home with the car the next day. Right. And that's just like a microcosm of how I operate. And 9 times out of 10, that speed and, efficiency, I guess, it works and it's fine. But for this one, I'm like, let it slow boil. Right. Like let us get our cameras together, our light. You see, I got a light today
Yeah, I see it.
and
Brighter. I see it.
I got a standing desk thing. It's literally like just a little platform that my computer's on. Just like let's get it all together so that when we're ready to record and somebody sees it, that it's like better quality, sounds good. Because last week your picture was perfect. Like in comparison to weeks before,
Mhm.
it was and mine was fuzzy as hell. So but yeah, we're gonna get it. It's coming. It's coming. I
You know, it's
genuinely believe
interesting.
that.
I am, I when I say ordinary, I am the I want it, I get it. I want it, I do it. That's who I am. But over the years, over the last 5 years, I've noticed that if I want something, I'm researching and I'm reading like reviews, like I'm spending so much more time doing that than if I would just get it. And the thing that I've noticed about myself now is because I was trying to buy something, I'm reading the comment, reading the reviews. It'll be 99 5-star reviews. And then the one, like 1 star, 2 star, I'm like, oh, well, I'm probably
Forget
gonna
it.
be the one who get like, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
never
yeah,
been
yeah.
me. That has never been me.
Never.
But it's all a process. I need to get back to therapy. I thought I was cured, but I'm not.
You know what I wonder? I mean, and I know this is like, we're both aging, we're both getting older. Everyone is, right? But like I feel we talked about this before that the age range, I think I read something like anecdotally that like between 45 and 55 is the age where you go through the most obvious aging in your face, right? Like you look the same age from 20 to 40, and then at 45, you age like 10 years in a week, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I genuinely see that happening. And I'm not like, I've never been one to be like, oh, I don't want to get older. Oh, no, no, keep me like I don't care. Like I've been able to, I've aged gracefully, the Caribbean, all that, the Cuban blood or whatever. But like literally in the last 3 months, like I have so many gray hairs. And my thing has always been like, I've had three gray hairs. I've had three gray hairs since I was 20.
Yeah.
And if I pull these locks apart, it looks like it's a lot going
So
on in
well, the mountain.
there. It's a whitewater raft in there. And I notice it so much more. And I notice like my face changing um I have aligners, I have braces, Invisalign, and like they told me that my face structure would change because my teeth were so bad, and like I see it, and so like my laugh lines are more pronounced, and I don't know if it's like old or is it the braces thing, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely see it, and I don't know what to do with that. Like I don't know, I'm not hiding it, but I notice it so much. And where I notice it too is like when I used to go to homecoming for college, I would go back and it's like a thing, like, oh, Mike, like, hey, like you look the same as you did. And I know I'm gonna go back and someone's gonna be like, wow,
They're not going to say it this time. Yeah,
like
that's a real
you
thing.
look 50. You look really 50.
That's
Like,
that's the moment when I would say my age and people stopped going, "Oh, really?" That's when I was like, "Oh, it's over.
oh, it's a
It's
wrap.
over for us. It's a wrap." I was actually the other night, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was looking up like how much like certain cosmetic procedures cost. Like
We
how
talked
much is
about this
like,
a little bit before.
did we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's gonna happen.
You
Don't
think
let me get
so?
some money. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, because
How?
I think that there's a difference between wanting to look like drastically different and hold on a second, just 1 second.
I guess I could talk while you're on hold.
Yeah, 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 you should talk. I mean, I can't figure out how to do this.
But I just don't know, like, as a guy, like I'm not gonna get Botox. I'm not gonna like I do notice my eyes always look a little squinty. And I know it's because I know that's the age. And I know it's because I don't get enough sleep. Years and years of like wearing glasses and squinting and like my eyes just always look they're closing. And I see my dad's eyes doing the same thing. And I'm like, it's happening. That filter that Snapchat did a couple years ago where it aged you, like I'm watching myself do like it's wildly accurate as I'm seeing myself age.
I appreciate people who are fine with it. I appreciate people who are like, this is just the way I look now, and I'm not one of those people. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that if you get to the point where you just want to look like yourself awake, I think that's fine.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
I just want to look like I got 8 hours of sleep and I'm eating well and I'm drinking enough water. That's literally all I want to look like. I don't want to
Yeah.
look like I'm 17. I don't want to look like I'm 22. I just want to look like I sleep, eat, and drink water. That's all. That's
I
literally
also
all.
I also don't want to look like other guys my age. Like that
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty direct about. There's some guys my age where you can tell like they haven't taken care of themselves over
Uh-huh.
time. And when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I could always tell where an older guy got stuck. Like where I think we talked about this before. Like,
Yeah.
okay, based on your outfit, your haircut, you got stuck in 1997. You got stuck. And I've always said I don't ever want to get stuck.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't want to dress, like current, like whatever the trendy fashion is, but I don't want to look like I got stuck in 2020. You know what I mean? And I think I'm stuck fashion wise and like look wise right now. I don't really know, like, I don't go out enough. And when I do, in the winter, I throw on a hoodie and jeans, like I'm good. In
Yeah.
the summer, guys, it's relatively easy. But there are certain trends for guys my age that I will not adhere to. I'm not going to wear a plaid vest or a plaid blazer with a white collared shirt with khaki pants. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Um, when I
So
travel, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, because the joke is like the uncle sandals or whatever or what is it, the cargo shorts.
Jean shorts, yeah. Oh, cargo shorts. I wore some cargo shorts 2 days ago when I went to the Wu-Tang concert. I got to tell you about that. But yeah.
But there's no okay, first of all, I see what they're wearing now and it's weird. So even you couldn't wear what they're wearing now. You just
Right,
couldn't. Like
right.
even as a woman, I see some of the stuff that girls are wearing or young people are wearing, and I'm just sitting here like, how?
Yeah,
Why?
not
Like
doing
this
it.
doesn't even look good. This doesn't look it doesn't. And here's the thing, and I've been talking about this with my brother. Because of the internet, there are no longer like regional styles. There's
Yeah,
no longer, "Oh, I know you're from Baltimore because, oh, I know you're from DC because of your
yeah,
socks or your New
right.
Balances, or I know you're from Cali because of your, there's none of that anymore. The same way there's no regional music, there's no regional like
No
dress
regions.
code, there are no
Right,
regions. And I
right,
think that
right.
that's what makes it even more difficult because you're seeing people wearing things that only make sense in a certain state or in a certain country or in a certain, region. And then you've got
Yeah.
other people who are not from there. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
copying it. Yeah.
Just copying it. And it's like
Hmm.
there's no like style slash fashion. But after we had the conversation here about me like just feeling really insecure about my hair, da da da, I went back and I was like, when did I feel like the most like confident? What was I wearing? What did I look like? Chat.
They're like, actually, Bossy, you felt best about
I mean, I was like, ask me some questions so I can figure this shit out. And then
yours.
as I was talking, it was early 2000s, but I wasn't wearing early 2000s clothes. I was wearing jeans and a shirt. I was
Yeah,
wearing jeans. It was like a graphic tee or it was a but it was like very,
yeah.
very basic. The shoes were, some of them were like of the time, like very Spice Girls, but most of the time they were just, seriously, I had those like platform sandals. They were crazy. I don't know what the fuck I
No.
was doing. But like there's certain things that are classic to
Yeah,
me
yeah.
that I can go back and wear because my style icon, I don't know, the style icon at the time was Lauryn Hill at that time. And if you
Right.
look at what she was wearing at that time, it was just, you know what I'm saying? It was very normal, it was very regular.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And so trying to like look at these people now, these people, but looking at them now and thinking they look crazy to me. They're
Yeah,
not going to be
everybody looks
able
like
in
they're in
20 years.
character. Yeah,
Exactly. They're not going to be
yeah.
able in 20 years to look back and be like, "Oh yeah, that was me." It'd be like that's what I was wearing. And there's this thing that's going on in Nigeria now, and I saw it on Nigerian TikTok. It's called the Alte.
Okay. What's that?
Alte is the style, but what it is like it's like alternative punk here from 30 years ago. Like
Wow,
they're
really?
wearing like the layers, like pants, and then a skirt on top of that, and then blah, 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 and then like a jacket on top of that with a vest on top of it. Like it looks cool in 1996, but
Mm.
this is in Nigeria. It is 100
I was
degrees
gonna say, isn't it
all
like
the time.
1,000 degrees?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. But
Mm.
somebody saw it online, started doing it. It became like, they're not doing this here. And then that's how it evolved. But it does not make sense
For the
at
region.
all for the
Right.
region. But before we used to have to, we had to watch a video or like look through a magazine to see what people were wearing. And because we couldn't get that, we had like a sense of style and a sense of like our own like fashion. Now people just copy and paste. What are they wearing? I'm gonna get every single thing that they're wearing, head to toe.
Yeah, and then there's these like I know it's like this for women, but for men, there are so many popular YouTube pages or they're probably TikTok that I see on YouTube that are like 40 things men over 40 should never wear. I'm like, 29 of those 40 things I wear daily. It's like, don't wear the little beads. I don't have them on now, but like, they'd be like, don't wear Apple Watches. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to, how do I tell time and my heart rate at the same
Yeah.
time? It's like, don't wear Jordans. I have 10 of them. Don't wear, what, the most recent one? Men over 40 shouldn't wear hats. I'm like,
That shit is so anti-black. I gotta say it. That shit is anti-black. I don't
and
care.
it's a black man.
Yeah, it's
That's why I
anti-black.
started following him because but the number one thing it said you should have a plaid blazer, a dark something fitted jeans, like not too tight, not too loose. Like what's those brunch boots that everybody was wearing a couple years ago in
I know
DC?
what you're talking about.
Saddle boots. I don't know. You
I
don't
know
know
what you're
when the
talking
guy.
about. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're
They
talking
call
about.
them brunch boots, but like everyone should have a pair of these and a black belt. It's just like all this basic stuff. And at the end of the day, I haven't lived in New York in 30 years or even more. And I'm still from New York City. I'm not going to wear the same thing everybody wears. I'm not going to wear it in the same, especially being in North Carolina, where there is definitely like a dress code for dads, the soccer dads and baseball dads. Like they wear the same thing. Of course, most of them are white. But I just like, I'm trying to, maybe the style is I just don't care. Like I'm gonna wear whatever I want. Like
Yeah.
whatever makes me feel good, whatever is functional. Function is very big for me. So I like things with pockets because I'm always carrying a lot of shit. Like I need
Yeah.
hand sanitizer and I still carry a fanny pack and I'm gonna carry it forever. Like it's a part of who I am. But that's one of the things that never a man should never have a crossbody bag. What? Where do I put my wallet then, sir?
It, but it's interesting because what got me hemmed up, because I will mourn the clothing I gave away every single day of my life. I regret it so much. But what got me hemmed up was stuff like that, where I
Uh-huh.
wasn't feeling I felt trapped between like these ages and these times. And then the big thing was capsule wardrobes, where
What's that?
oh my God, the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life,
Capsule.
where it's like you need one white t-shirt, one black t-shirt, you need a camel colored coat, you need one trench coat, you need like it was a capsule where it's like you just like mix and
Oh.
match
Okay.
it's like granimals for adults. Like you just
Okay.
mix and
Yeah. Yeah.
match
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the same basic thing, and that's what's supposed to make you feel like an adult, or
An
that's
adult.
what adults are wearing. Because it's like these two things. It's either you're like completely so fashion that nobody
And
it's
you look
just you.
crazy. Like you're
Yeah.
out of it. You're out of
It's
sorts, right? Yeah.
yes, it's just you, or you're so basic that you are just like everybody else. And I think
Yeah.
that there's not enough like space in the middle for people who wear what they want to wear, fashion, but within like a place that makes sense functionally.
Yeah.
So I do think that like TikTok and stuff like that it has been the death of style, not even fashion, just
Really.
style. I think that people have lost the ability to understand what they like, what looks good on them, and what makes sense. That to me is just all style is. And I don't think that we're the fact that every time you turn around and you see like an influencer or somebody's house, it's all beige,
Yeah. White and
white and beige. Nobody likes
yeah.
white and beige, but that's
Yeah.
not that nobody likes it, but somebody decided that that's what the chic or the influencer houses or whatever is. So people just started doing that, and it said there's a TikTok sound where somebody was like, I want to go to your house and know you're from Jamaica, walk into your house and know you're Nigerian, or know like or know that you're from South Carolina, or know that you're people in Chicago. Like where happened to like the personalities?
Hmm.
There are no person, but
That's a really fascinating observation. Yeah, that's really fascinating
there's
for real.
another observation that I've made that I haven't been able to express. Do you know how you know some of the like the TikTok like inflections? Like there's a like a cadence to the
Yes.
stuff. There's a way
Yes.
like there's this thing where they're like trying to show something and they're like tapping on it, or if
What?
they're
That right there is why I don't like TikTok because of that. I'm like, what are
no,
you doing?
I'm gonna keep going. You know, when they're lip syncing something and they're looking off to the corner and they look back and they look like all of that.
Okay, I
What
did
they're
not know this.
doing,
Yeah.
oh, I notice all of it. I'm way too observant. A lot of this a lot of the TikTok trends, the ways that people show their outfits and all that, it comes from somebody who was doing it for a reason that made sense to them. For instance, the whole like looking in the camera while lip syncing, then looking away. Somebody saw themselves, got like, or like, oh, I don't want to stare at myself, so I'm going to look up. It is a personality tick. They have taken different personality ticks and made them
Wow.
trends. That's what's happening. There's the whole thing where somebody is taking a an outfit and then they turn and they kick their leg up. Somebody's mirror wasn't long enough to show the entire outfit. So that's how they do it. And somebody decide, like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these things come from
Yes.
something originally that made sense to the person who started it. And then became the whole like the cadence. Somebody probably wrote something down, and the way that it was broken up, they couldn't
Mm.
like read it, but they kept going. That's where all this shit comes from.
That's
This
kind
is
of,
why
yo, that is crazy to think about because
armchair anthropology.
there's so many things that happen on TikTok. And I'm like, how did this become the way to express yourself? The perfect way that demonstrates what you just described is like the TikTok dances,
Mhm.
right? Even the dances, right? Where, our daughter will show us stuff. And, we've seen them before, but like, why are all the dances like so flat?
I'll tell you
And
why.
it's flat on purpose, right? So back in the day, if we're doing a dance, we right, but like the right, like you got the whole
We
thing,
were
but it's like
dancing, we were sweating.
right, but like the TikTok dances, it's like purposely like, but it's so lifeless. But then it's not because the people can't dance; it's like that on purpose.
But
I
it
never
started
understood that.
it started because people couldn't dance. It started because at some point TikTok was just from your waist up.
Mm.
So there wasn't a lot of like footwork, but it started because people couldn't dance, but they wanted to do white people, I should say. Because if
Ooh,
you look at
you're gonna
like
get in
the
trouble. We're gonna get
original,
some more hate
I don't
mail.
care.
See,
I
look.
don't care. Nancy, come at me. I don't really care. You and Bonnie. I don't give a fuck. Uh,
Oh, rest in peace.
rest in peace, Bonnie, your made up black friend.
Bonnie the Black.
But it is, if you look at like the original like dances, they were energetic. They had like complex moves, and you can see how they like they watered it down and they brought it
Mhm.
down so that they'd be able to do it. And you know who they are. They'd be able
Yeah.
to do it. But then here's the shit that pisses me off every time. Black people, you started this thing. They watered it down so they can do it. And then you start watering your shit down too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's like stop following white people into bad dancing. But that's
Yeah.
where it comes from. It's to make it easy for people to do. And
Mhm.
there's a choreographer, Sean Bankhead, who does like everybody, Victoria Monet, like he does everybody. And he was on TikTok the other day and he was like, y'all are doing my dance wrong.
Wow.
He was like, if you're going to do it, I'm going to show you how to do it properly. You're not going to like water it down and get lazy with it. I'm like, fucking hell yeah. That's right.
You know
That's
what it's
right.
making me think of too is that I think I saw this on TikTok or somebody describing it somewhere. And they were talking about connecting it to the iPhone, right? It was a loose connection to the iPhone. And when you talked about the beige, like the clean lines that are behind everybody's background, like everything is like super clean, everything's white. I saw a content person say that a lot of the movies and television shows that are on Apple TV, and they were referencing specifically, God dog it, Reverence. What's the name of that movie? The show that everyone was talking about a couple
Severance?
Severance. They were referencing Severance, right? Have you watched Severance at all? So Severance, it's a complicated show, but it's about like people have two different lives. They have their work life and their home life, and they're completely separate, and they don't know about each other. Right. There's like a process that they do with your brain. And when you go into work, like you're like, it's brand new. Right. But inside of the work environment, it was sterile. Like everything was white and it was like very clean lines. And they were saying that so many shows on Apple have that same aesthetic. They have this aesthetic of, if you think of an iPhone screen, an iPhone design, it's been the same. It really hasn't changed in the last 10 years. It has like the rounded square, everything is like uniform, and that there is, all sorts of science and, people that study behavior that understand that that's the way that people want to see things. They want it to be clean. They want it to be compartmentalized really easily. And so I wonder if there's a connection to kind of like this idea of There's no regionality. There's no originality. There's no like uniqueness when it comes to a lot of the content creators. I've noticed that like do as content creators, do we have to have like our clips look a certain way? Does it have to like have that voice that everybody uses and the same inflection? And you know what? I thought about it. And like that
So, do you
cadence.
see my theory about somebody wrote it down and
I
didn't know
do.
how to?
It's fascinating. I'd never thought about it that way. That is crazy.
I think about it all the time whenever I see a new trend, and I was like, I know exactly where this came from. And 9 times out of 10, when I find the original, I'm like, yep, that's where it came from.
Wow, wow. It's we know that from the context of the United States, and you mentioned, in Nigeria, there's this thing, and like it's everywhere, right? Like in China, they're mimicking the accent of Kendrick, and they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. Like I've seen videos of Chinese people like imitating the way that Ryan Coogler talks, right? Like, or
That's
just the
crazy.
different accents and New York accents, and it's fascinating. I think that as we get older, as we enter this next phase, as we're in this next phase, for me in fashion and just like the way that I present myself, I don't know. I feel like there's expectation of what I should look like as a 48-year-old man, right? There's that. There is how I want to dress, and somewhere in between that it's probably where I should land.
Yep.
And I just haven't figured that out yet. Like when I go, my wife, she has a pretty visible job. Like sometimes we go out with her. I think we talked about this before, right?
Hmm.
Where
Hmm.
like I don't want to dress the
Yeah.
same, but it's like I have to because I don't know. It's complicated getting older, man. This is
I hate
um,
it. I no. No, actually, I do hate it. I was about to like be really politically correct. I hate it. I had a fucking panic attack the other day. Ask me why. Please
oh
ask me why I sat there at 2 in the morning having a
my
goddamn
god,
anxiety and panic attack
what happened?
because minding my fucking business, right? Doing nothing but not sleeping, right? And I was like, what am I going to do when I'm 60? Where am I going to live? Am I going to have to go into an old folks home? Do
At
I,
60?
I was like, where do I go? What do I do? Like, do I move somewhere? Where am I going to move? Who's going to take care of me? I don't want to allow him to take care of me because I just don't want him to have that burden of like, what am I going to do with my old ass mom? But it's like, when's he like, what am I supposed to do? Like I have
Man.
never in my life been one of those like I need to get married and have, never. Now I'm like, what the fuck? Who am I supposed to die with? Like, what the fuck? I was so stressed out about the fact that in 20 years I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't
You'll
have a
be right where you
pension.
are.
I don't have pension. I don't have a 401k. I don't have social security because I work like weird. Like I'm gonna be homeless. I'm gonna be homeless. I'm gonna be walking the streets with a goddamn bag, trying to find Wi-Fi, and like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. That shit really really scared me. I was inconsolable.
I think that's a legitimate fear, honestly. There are moments where I definitely feel that like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, we just bought a house here in North Carolina, and there's at least once a week where I'm like, why did we buy this house? Like, who's gonna pay for this more like forever? Like for the next 30 years? I'm not gonna have a job in 30 years, I hope. Like, so I definitely feel that, and especially as the kids get older, like we didn't raise our kids like previous generations raised their kids, like take care of them.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know, like my kids are so aloof that like, and it's not aloof. They're just very different than how I was raised, right? Like there are we were just talking about my son's home from college, and his college self is not really like vibing with the house right now. Like it's there's a lot going on. And on one level, I'm like, how dare you come into this house like this, whatever like this is, right? Like you going out, coming back in whenever you want. You know, we ask you to tell us when you're coming back. You don't tell us that. I wouldn't even. It wouldn't even cross my
Oh,
mind
wouldn't even cross.
when I came home from college my first year. I was still asking, like, can I go to the store? Like, can I take a walk by myself? And if the answer was no, I'd be like, okay, see you
Okay.
later. I'll go back to my room. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they are so we've empowered them. It's not them. I would say I've empowered him to like come and go for the most part as he wants. And I don't like that shit. I'm just gonna say I don't like what I created because I would just never, ever consider coming back in the house with my breath smelling like anything but gum. You know what I'm saying? Or, I didn't have a car. He has a car, or to get into the car, like, what is that? What's going
Yeah.
And him just being like, hey, I had some of that. I'm like,
You're not supposed to be comfortable saying
you're
this to me.
comfortable saying that?
Yeah.
And then on one hand, I'm like, that's good, right? Like, that's what we want. We don't want to raise our kids in fear. We don't want to raise our kids like on some like you got to go and hide in the corner or go to
Be
somebody's
afraid of me.
crack house to do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
They're here, okay, cool, I guess. I just don't like that. That Caribbean in me is exposing itself as they get older.
Well, because I think that there were points and things that our parents did that made sense. The way that they conveyed it was
Yeah.
where it was like, all right,
Like you're
relax.
you're tripping. Like
Right. But
I'm not
if
gonna die tonight. Right. Yeah.
there's I've been having this issue lately because he's an only child. We live with his grandparents. It's every man for himself. Like
Yeah.
eat
Yeah.
when you want to, like wash your dish
Mm.
or but I'm not like a stickler for it. Like if I see a dish and he didn't wash it, I'll just wash it. Like I'm literally
Yeah.
right here. I'm gonna call him to come downstairs and wash one dish like
Cause
my parents.
surely that's what my mom
A
was. I got
hundred percent.
many 6 a.m. knocks on my door. You didn't wash your plate last night. You need to come wash this plate at 6 a.m. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
What is this?
Or this is all you have to eat. Either you eat this or nothing. There's no I'm going to Danny's to get some carry out or I'm going to
Right.
Chipotle. Like it is this is the food. This is
That's
the
it.
food. But the thing is like it hit me the other day because I don't make him clean his room. Because I'm just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, it's gonna get on your nerves at some point. You're gonna clean it. And every
Right,
once in
right,
a while, I'll
right.
be like, oh, you should clean your room. But it's also so like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
That's not priority right now.
I'm
Yeah.
only saying it because I'm supposed to say it. I don't care, really. I don't care. I don't smell anything. You're not making meth in there.
Not gross. Yeah.
I don't care. Like, you want to keep your laundry in the laundry basket even though it's folded? I'm not going in there to put in the you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna to clean out your closet. I'm not gonna
Right.
to vacuum and sweep. And I think a lot of that our parents were like, I'm gonna have to go in there. I was like, I don't have to. Like,
Right. I
I
really don't
do
care.
not have to. But then
Yeah.
it was like, oh my God, you're going to college and you're gonna be around other people. You're going to live with other people. You don't know how to wash a bathroom or clean a bathroom because you just never
Mm-hmm.
had to. You don't know
Right.
how to like do any of the basic things because I never forced you to do it. I
Yeah.
never said you had to do because I wasn't thinking about what my parents were thinking about. What if somebody sees you and knows you come from this house and you didn't know that all that's different things. And I was just like, fuck. And I'm trying to catch up now. Oh, you can't go until you clean your room and
It's
make
like,
sure you clean up before.
what's wrong with you? Who are you right now?
Listen, listen. Like
It just
looking at me
causes, yeah.
like not rude, not he's just looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Like, what is
Like,
this?
what, clean my room before I leave? Like, what? Clean the car? What? Like, it's just like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I
Yeah.
done? You're not
Yeah.
afraid of me. This is the fact that, like, even for prom, he's like, oh, can I get a hotel room? No. Okay. I was like, I would never even fix my mouth to ask my parents. I
Yeah.
would never even fix my mouth.
Yeah, yeah, for
Oh, I
sure.
won't be back until 4 a.m. Okay, what?
What? To
Wait,
tomorrow?
no, you're not supposed to like. And even like sometimes I'll just be like, he'll be out, and I'm like, I think you should come home now. Like, just I think so. I feel
Right,
like you
right.
should be on your way back home. Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you why, but I know
There
that you're not supposed to be out this late.
there's gotta be something to like same thing. He's home, Ellington's home, and he's going out with his friends and they go out to Raleigh. Like that's like, when I grew up in I went to high school in Alexandria, like, oh, we go to DC, right? Now, I didn't do that when I was at his age. That happened when I was like in my 20s. But he's like, oh yeah, we're going to Raleigh. And so a couple weeks ago, a group of his friends, they all went to Raleigh. And, I assume, and I know that they drink when they go out. And so he generally honest with me, tell me like I had a drink or two, or like, oh, I'm not drinking tonight, I'm DD or whatever. Okay, cool. Just be honest, tell us. And so one of the nights they went out and they came back and it was six of his friends. And at least one of the girls, it was a girl, three girls, three boys. One of the girls was extremely drunk, was like this drunk, like, and maybe I shouldn't tell this story. I'm not saying it. They don't know what she is. And what ended up happening is she ended up staying at our house, right? And the fact that Ellington brought all these dirty ass children to my house
Oh,
and
dirty
felt
ass children.
comfortable and felt comfortable with them staying here and asking if they can stay. It was like an intense moment of pride. I'm proud of you for asking and not doing anything reckless. And how fucking dare you ask if these busted ass kids could stay in my house? How dare you? And it was like
And
an out of
asking
body
while they're already in the house.
while they're here. They're
Yeah,
here. They're already here.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, okay, my mom would have called every one of those kids' parents and either took them home herself or they would not have stayed in my house growing up. And I was just like, I was still up. I want everybody to be safe. Girls stay in this room, boys stay in this room. I'm up. Ain't nothing gonna happen. They've been friends for 10 years or since we've been here. But just the audacity of him thinking that that would work and then it did, right? Like,
I
but
mean,
is that what we want though? Like, is that because the fiber of me like was like no, and I did tell him like this is not happening again. Like I'll allow it now, but this is not happening anymore. But it's a
but
mind fuck for sure.
I genuinely believe that, first of all, I have this belief that every generation has or believes that they're breaking a generational curse, and they
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah.
So this is like part, or not generational curse, but like generational whatever
Behavior,
behavior.
generational. Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know how to put it. So I shudder to think what they're gonna allow their kids to do
oh,
because
jeez.
because I believe that now looking back, I believe it was the delivery. I believe it was the fear being instilled that I was bucking against, but the things that they were protecting from, the
Yeah,
reasons why are valid, are
yeah, for
absolutely
sure,
valid. But
for sure.
it was the delivery that fucked us up. And it wasn't until last week when I was like, okay, I understand why you wanted this to happen. You ain't
Yeah,
have to wake me up at 3 in the morning to finish sweeping or whatever. But I understand why it was important for you that I knew how to do some of these things. I know why
yeah,
it's
yeah.
important to you that if anything happens to you, I can take care of myself. Because the Biafran War fucked a lot
Mm,
of my parents' generation up. So a lot of
mm.
what they went through are trauma responses to the war, but then also I need to know. Like my dad hates it when I throw things away. Like he is livid. Food,
Same, same.
documents, livid. And it's
Mhm.
because during the war, when something got lost, that was it. You didn't exist. You did
Mm.
not exist at all. So it's like, but then I'm not doing that to E. I'm like, his diploma is fucking on the where is it? I saw it the other day. It's not where diploma should be. It's just
Right.
it's just there.
Still in his book bag or something, right?
It's just there. And it's like,
Yeah.
this isn't important to you because it was way too important to my parents. And I haven't,
Man.
it's,
It's a lot, and I think about you were talking about the war in your parents' case, and I think for my mom, growing up in Cuba as an immigrant, like that was one thing, but I think it was, we always bring in Deontay Kyle, but Deontay Kyle has talked about the war on drugs in like the last 40 years and how that is what my mom's fear was. It
yes,
was growing up in Brooklyn, drugs, period.
yes,
Drugs, guns,
pregnancy.
pregnancy, weed, when weed was like, oh no, he's smoking reefer,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. And like that fear is feel like the fear doesn't necessarily go away from generation to generation. The fear is still there, depending on, but also like these kids don't live in Brooklyn, New York. Like we are in a pretty safe, traditional suburban relationship, suburban neighborhood. And I know that there are other things that these kids have access to that we didn't have access to in the 80s, right? I know that these kids are driving nicer cars than our family drives, when they're 15 and 16. I know that a lot of these kids are vacationing on their family owned yachts and shit. Like, so there's like different fears, but like every time they go out, there's still fear there. There's still like, I would love for you to be home at midnight. Is that appropriate for me to ask? Probably not at 19 years old now, but because I keep on having to tell my wife this too, when we're both kind of tripping out, like, he did what? What? What did he have in his room? Are you crazy? And like, wait, I was 19 and I definitely smoked a pack of cigarettes one night in college just to try it out, just to see. Me and my me and my line brothers smoked a pack of cigarettes and drank vodka or gin and orange juice because that was like our first time drinking liquor, and we got sick and felt like we were gonna die. So at the very least, you gotta assume that your kid is gonna do that, right? Because that's just what happens at this age, whether it was in 2025 or 1995 or 1965. Kids explore, kids do dumb shit, and like they really make stupid, insane decisions. And as parents, we just gotta like brace ourselves for when that happens and how we're gonna react to it when it happens. It's not if. Our kids are gonna do the dumbest shit we've ever seen. And we're just like, all right, I hope they tell us when they do dumb shit. But I'm always gonna do some dumb shit when he goes to college.
That's,
They be doing the dumbest shit. I be like, why? Why did you do you okay.
it's, I, that, there's so much that I just thought was like osmosis, I guess. And I didn't realize
Me
that I
too.
had to like
Me too.
sit
I
and
really
tell
did.
you about the dangers of being a black man. Like I didn't, I was like, because we talk about this all the time. This is a family topic. Oh my God, the other day, I can't remember how it came up, but I had to look at him and like, we're pro-black in this family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna go to York College and come back. Oh well, the way that the welfare. I'm dead ass. I was like, it never even occurred to me that I had to do that. But now I'm looking at you like, do I have to do that? Do I gotta tell you?
Bossy.
That shit
Yo,
scares me.
it's
You could be anything else in this world, but if you come back on some like
Bossy, I'm telling
conservative
you.
shit,
I don't think Ellison's going through conservative phase, but I do think that black soccer kids, it's a thing. Like when you go to there's no options for so it's crazy because there's no options for these black kids to go to black schools, right? It's very few options. Not to say
yeah,
no, very few options, right? And so they got to go to these white schools and they're on these teams. Soccer is like an elite sport in terms of kids that are playing at that level are usually their parents are usually wealthy. They've been around wealthy kids all their life. They've had these different experiences, and we're seeing that firsthand. And it happened overnight. He went to college, and now he's coming back talking about playing poker and golf. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't play poker and golf. And
Yeah.
I'm 50. That's what 50-year-old niggas do, play poker and golf.
Yeah.
You're 19. Like, I want to see you going, I don't know, going to the sweat parties. I don't know. I don't like he came in and all his boys came like his boys came over to our house. They like our house is the house, which we don't mind necessarily. And they come and play poker. And it's like three black kids. If it's 10 kids, it's like three black kids. They're like two Latinx kids and five white kids, right? And they come in the house. Some of them speak, some of them don't. I'm like, all right, I see. And I'll tell the Caribbean in me that's really strong is like, I don't trust that kid. I don't like him. He's disrespectful. He's cool. I like his face. Like, I could
Yeah.
still do that. But when they came in, they put their shoes at the door, right? And I went and looked at the shoes, and I was like, all your friends are whack, yo. Look at these fucking shoes. Look, why are there six pairs of Birkenstocks? Like, y'all are fucking whack. Converse? Is someone wearing thong sandals? What the? Like, your friends are swagless. You grew up with swag. Like, you grew up wearing Yeezys and Jordans and like, like the fuck, what is that? I was so incensed. Like, I was offended. I was offended by the shoes that they wore to my house.
And rightfully so.
Why do you gotta run over Air Maxes from '92? Like, they're not even the cool ones that look run over on purpose. Like, he's had this since he was 10. This shit is disgusting. And I was so offended. Yeah. But you talk about the style, like, look, full circle. It's like that is what the white dudes on TikTok wear. These nameless, brandless polo shirts, khaki shorts, like 7 inches above the knee. And I'm like, they're here. They've invaded. They're in our house. They're
I
here.
can't. The saving grace, like the thing with E is that he's too
Oh
much
my,
into labels. And I'm like, that's where I'm like, what do you mean you want Louis Vuitton sneakers? First of all, they're
that's some
ugly.
buoy shit. That's some buoy shit.
It
That's,
has to be. It
that's
has
some
to
buoy
be.
shit.
And he's like, well, I mean, I can even get them fake. What? I'm sorry?
That's okay. Is that
Pardon?
okay? But that's okay in this generation. They don't care. They don't care.
The saving
Oh my
grace is
gosh.
that only been to all black schools up until now. And I hope that there's like some carryover,
There's gotta be. There's gotta
there's
be.
gotta be. And I told him this is where it came up. I was like, you get on campus, first thing you do is find when the BSU or BSA meetings are. I don't know if it's
Yes.
Black Student Union or Black Student Association, whatever it is, find out
Yeah.
where they are and go. And he's
Same
looking at me
thing
like, why do I have to do? Like, maybe I'll just meet
same
people on
thing.
the street and I'll just, no, you won't. Number one, you're
Whoa.
shy when you first meet people. Number one. Number two, they're gonna look at you as though you're the black soccer kid, and they're
Yep.
not going to know that you're down. So you have to make yourself like go to one meeting so that they know that
Yeah.
you're in. No, go to two. Because if you go to one, then go to two or three
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
can. Let them know that you are a black person who plays soccer and
And
likes
that
black
cares
people
and cares about
and
black people.
cares
That's
about black
exact.
people and likes black people. Like
We
that
told
that is
E
literally
this.
all. That is
We told
literally
him the
all.
same thing, same advice, same exact steps, and legit, he couldn't do it because of the schedule, because of the practice, because like they're always together, especially in the fall. And the fall is where you establish, that connection to campus, and
And
their
they get
only
on
connection to
campus
campus
first. They get on campus way before everybody else.
and the only connection to campus is soccer, like or whatever your sport is, like is your sport. And so by the time he tried to engage second semester, he had his crew. It was already done. And then, there were other black kids in the soccer team that he connected with, but it just he was detached from that black experience. If you're gonna go to a PWI, for me, I think I had the most HBCU like experience at a white school ever.
Yeah.
Like I had no white friends. I had no, not on, not bragging about it, but our experience was
It was black.
uniquely black.
Yeah.
Right? That's where we partied. That's where we hung out, the off campus parties. That's who took us to help us wash our clothes if we needed help, like whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was those older black guys. That's how I got into Alpha, right? So I wanted to have that. And it's just like he
It
doesn't see the
the
importance of it,
importance of it. That's the thing. It was
you
so
know?
important to us. And it's not, and I don't know. I think that there's also the place where you see people over indoctrinate their kids. Like over. Like let the boy, let the
Right.
kid, let the like just like let them do certain things
Uh-huh.
because the world is the world, but at the same time, it's like, where was that? I don't know. I don't know. That's what scares me the most. Like he's gonna come back on some, well, Trump had some points. I mean, he wouldn't do that because that I know he wouldn't do. My brother
Yeah,
would
yeah.
murder him. Like I know it wouldn't be that, but I still need a little bit
But he's gonna
more.
be around those kids though.
Yeah,
He's gonna
that's the
be
thing.
spending a lot of time with those kids. Are like,
I
well, the immigrants, they shouldn't be here anyway. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
I can't. And then I also when he decided he was going there, there's a black dorm. There's a
Wow.
black dorm, but he can't live there because
See, that's the same thing. Same
uh,
thing. That's dope though that they still have that
yeah,
at a small white college. That's dope.
yeah. They have a lot of like because again, I was looking. They
Mm-hmm.
have like black organizations. They have Divine Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Might be two or three people,
Hey,
one and
gotta
a half
start
people,
somewhere. Right.
but they
Right.
do have those. So it's gonna take a lot more work than I have given him, than I have equipped him for. That's the issue. It's going to take a lot more work than I have instilled in him when it comes to like making friends or like being outspoken. I failed at that, but
Yeah.
I hope that he sees the importance of it in some aspect. Or
Man. I know. It's like so
I'm so sad.
it's just so, man, it's like watching your kids live their life so fundamentally different than you did is just something. I mean, I'm sure like every parent ever has gone through that on some level, but I feel like the gap, and we've talked about this many times. I think this is like a theme of our show, is like the gap between like what our parents experienced and what we experienced. It was wide, but it was more aligned
Yeah,
between what we experienced and what our kids experience. And I don't know if it's financial exposure, if it's just like location, like where we grew up versus where our kids grew up, but the experience that we were talking about church. I went to church every Sunday from the time I was all through high school, all up until college. And when I got on campus, I was looking for like a church home, like a church experience. And so I joined the gospel choir. Like that was my black church experience. And because of all the things, because of our relationship with church and Christianity, like we weren't really like churchy people. We went to church in Maryland. We had a good church. I had a good children's church, and we just wanted our kids again to be exposed to black church. And when we came here, we couldn't find one. And then COVID. And then, we watch online, but it wasn't the same. And so like that's just not a thing. It's not a thing in his world. Like he's not looking for that like spiritual connection or grounding on his own, right? So it's just like, man, the experiences are so different.
different.
But
My one of my greatest fears is that I'll come back as a ghost in 30 years and the bloodline is white.
oh,
That is that I know because of my brothers, I know that is not like I know that it's probably not possible,
yeah.
but I don't know for sure. I wish Howard wasn't such fucking why
No,
would you
I
give all
know.
your soccer scholarship money to Europeans? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I
Especially around the DMV? Black kids
I
play
know.
soccer around
I
here.
know. Everybody,
Why
yeah,
doesn't Bowie State have a goddamn soccer? Now I'm mad.
I'm telling you, man. I don't, I trust that there might be a sprinkle of white in my family history in the future. I can see it. It is really hard, Bossy, and we know this because we've seen it. You were on a campus, you were on a white campus, and you saw the attention that black athletes received, right? Like you saw it. Like we saw what those like. I don't want to get Teresa and Bonnie upset. Was that her name, Teresa?
Nancy.
Nancy. But we saw what those white girls did when those black athletes got on campus, right? Like it was nasty work what was happening. I mean, and girls in general, but we know,
Yeah.
right? And it, it as a soccer athlete on a predominantly white campus, they just
That is
get
a soccer school. There's no football
that's a
team.
soccer same at UNCW. They just get a different kind of attention from there's every sport has groupies, every sport has the girls that hang around and male groupies too,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, it would be hard for any 18, 19-year-old boy to ignore that kind of attention and to be like, I don't get away from me, white devil. Like you can't
I
like
need that. I need that. I'm actually gonna play some hypnosis or some shit because
uh,
I can't, I
oh
cannot.
my God.
Don't bring, I'm sorry, don't, no, no. The only saving grace when it comes to athletes, I think, is that soccer isn't big money like the NBA or the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
that's like the only
Yeah.
kind of like, all right, well, the
He ain't gonna
money
do
is the,
much with it. Right.
I can't, I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna have to do, but I cannot, I refuse. I want to get enough money like right now, like multi-millionaire so that I can write in my will, you don't get this unless you have at least two black children, fully black children,
Full black, all
full black
black.
children, at least two.
Right.
And then they can't get it. Like I'm writing this will in perpetuity. Like you can't, your kids can't get it unless it has to be at least one black person down the line for
Yeah.
forever.
With a black husband and wife, or like a
Yes,
mother and a father to have like
yes.
man.
At
Well,
least two
boss.
black children, fully black
Yeah.
children. That's it.
Yeah.
Them's the rules
Man, this episode was all over the place
all over.
in the best way ever. Like
And not anything that we literally talked about 5 minutes before we play.
listen, audience, literally before we press record, we said we're going to talk about this, and then we press record, and I don't know, we
We
didn't
didn't.
touch on a single
I
subject.
don't even remember what it is that I was like, oh no, press record. We should talk about this. And then we did. What was it we were even talking about?
We were talking about like balance in relationships and like
Right.
fatherhood. Yeah.
Yes. Well,
We'll
maybe
talk.
next
We'll
time.
talk. Oh, and this is Father's Day. We should have talked. Father's Day is on Sunday.
Father's Day.
Well, missed that train.
Oh
This is
my
perfect.
God.
This is the respect that fathers get. This is it. This
Well,
is how it
happy
works.
Father's Day, fathers.
Uh, thanks. We'll talk
My
about it next
bad.
week. We should talk about Father. Ooh, let's talk about Father's Day next week. Like our
Yes.
experience with Father's Day and just what it means to us, and
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we
Because
if we
I
feel
definitely
like it.
want to talk about, I hate it when people wish me a happy Father's Day. Like,
Oh,
don't do that.
yeah,
Please
yeah.
don't
I
do that.
remember when people would wish my mom Happy Father's Day too.
I hate that shit. I
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
Cool. I'm trying to find our closer and I can't find it. So I'll just say, folks, thanks for listening. Keep finding the clarity and the culture and the chaos and the something.
Something.
I almost got it. Like, share, comment, spread the podcast. Thanks for listening. This is the idea of peace out.
Bye.